Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you, aka VHS82 apostrophe. And I've been wanting to do something like this for a long time. And what I am wanting to do is just sort of spend a little bit of time in a 3-part video series and talk about what it means to be region free for me. And what that's really done for me as a collector and just someone who's an enthusiast of looking for film that perhaps has never gotten a release over here, but you can find it outside this country. And right now, what's in vogue, what's a fad, is this idea, this concept of being 4K. And you can be 4K, and it's evolving. Physical media is evolving. Better picture, better sound, better this, but whatever. But you need a player and you need a TV to be 4K. And if you've been in Walmart and Target, you've seen the 4K section of films. And the great thing about that is we're getting to see some old 80s films getting the 4K treatment. And I'm not there yet. I'm not into 4K. But I have no problems supporting it because it's physical media. And as long as physical media continues to evolve and it's physical and you can put your hands on it and it's not VOD, video on demand or digital, I am not a fan of that stuff. Now, look, I was born in 1970. The 80s was my decade. And I will be physical media for life. And I refuse to go digital. I'm just not. And, I'm just not. I will never have the collection some out there do, but quite frankly, I will have the collection that I love. And region free is an important component of that. And I would say to anyone watching this, if you have not already jumped on the 4K bandwagon, before you do, if you have not invested in being region free, I'm going to give you some reasons why perhaps maybe you ought to go region free before you go 4K. And let me just, tell you what it's done for me. There was a time when I was not region free. And first of all, what is region free? Region free allows you to purchase films via Amazon UK, Amazon Spain, Amazon Germany, Amazon Italy, anywhere around the world. The problem is if you go onto these sites and you buy these films now, they are region locked, meaning they will not play in your player unless you have a region-free Blu-ray player, okay? And you can find those on Amazon, even our Amazon domestically. You're not gonna find them in a store, I don't think. I've never seen a region-free player being sold out in the wild, as they say, in a store. Now, you get into Urban City and someplace, I don't know if they're out there or not. But about $160, you can find a good, decent Sony region-free Blu-ray player. And that would allow you the ability to basically get on Amazon UK, and yeah, you're gonna start having to deal with pounds and Dutch marks and all that wonderful kind of stuff. Actually, probably mostly pounds and the euro, right? The main currency. But I've gotten some movies ever since I've gone region free. I've gotten movies from just Amazon UK. I've bought straight from Germany, Amazon, from Italy, Amazon, almost Spain. I have not from Spain, but from Australia I have. And so what I want to do is I just want to show in a 3-part video series a cross cut of 25 films that I pulled out of my 54, I think I have, 54 region-free films. These are films that without a region-free player you could never play, right? So, but I want to just kind of showcase those films, and in a way, as I roll through them and share why those films are important to me, perhaps if you are not region-free, you will give some serious thought even before you jump on the 4K. Now, I have nothing against 4K. Like I said, as long as physical media continues to evolve and is sold, I'll support it. I'll support it. I'm just not quite there yet, right? So I'm going to start. It's a 3-part series, or a 3-part, 3 videos. First is from 25 to 21, and I'm going to highlight cover art. And really, these films I went after specifically because I was infatuated with the cover art. And then from 20 to 11, just kind of a cross cut of some 88 films, Arrow films, and some other things. And things that, you can get on Amazon UK, and why these are important to me. And then the top 10, I would say, are pretty important because there's some box sets in there that I've gotten, in the past, recent past, and some singular releases that are just absolutely mind-blowing. Now, I'll say this, domestically, Scream Factory, Shout, we do have some distribution companies here that do a Synopsis. There's a growing number. There was another one I was just thinking of, and I lost it. But anyways, there's a number of distribution companies here domestically that you can tap into. But there are some films that you're just not going to find over here, and that was the case. One of the main reasons why I went region free was to go after films like Anthropophagus, 1980, Joe D'Amato, that had no U.S. release at the time. Could not find that movie anywhere, but you could buy it off the Amazon UK site, only if you had a region free player. And so I went region free, and 54 titles later, man, I'm telling you, I got some really cool stuff that I want to show off. So anyways, let's do this so this video isn't terribly too long. Number 25, of course, this is a movie that is near and dear to my heart, and I just had to have this cover art because, man, who wouldn't love some Das Ding? I mean, this is awesome, right? This is The Thing, Universal release, of course, John Carpenter, and, I'm a huge collector of The Thing. Anything and everything related to The Thing, I gotta have. Is within reason, right? So, Das Ding, number 25, all right? Next one, number 24, George A. Romero's. You remember this? Land of the Dead. You remember this cover art? This sucks. This is horrible. But you go on Amazon UK, check this out. Now that's some cover art, man. That's some good stuff right there. So yeah, I actually got this DVD off of Amazon UK specifically for the cover art. That's what you do when you're a collector, right? You go after things that please you, right? And, I'm aesthetically driven, so, when you compare the two, it's a no-brainer, right? You got to go with the UK release. That looks awesome. And if I remember right, that was the theatrical poster that was released here domestically for the theatrical release of this film. And I don't know why they didn't run with that cover art for the American release, but who knows? The other one is what you see highlighted here is my German release from Tiberius Films. That is, of course, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Look at that cover art. That's some good stuff. Plus, it's kind of cool when you look at your packaging and, it's all in German. And, yeah, you might not be able to read much of it, but, the more you spend, in terms of just growing intimate with this stuff, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I think it's kind of cool, actually. And yes, I had this thought that maybe someone right now is asking, but when you do this, is there English? Yes, generally speaking, English is such a common language now that generally, more times than not, when you buy specific releases, even from specific countries outside of America, there's usually an English track. And you can look for that on the Amazon, on the description or whatnot. So that was, let's see, 25, 24, 23, 21. Another Halloween film, Steel Case from Germany, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I mean, look at this. Tell me that's not cool. There's the backside. That's just freaking awesome. I love this movie. I saw this movie on the big screen. It's one of those movies that it's got its growing legion of fans. I'm telling you, and it's about time. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. And this does have the commentary by Tommy Lee Wallace and Tom Atkins, which is really great, boy. It's really great to listen to. But Steel Case, German. And for 21, I wanted to go with my favorite all-time slasher of all time is the Italian slasher Stage Fright from Michele Soavi. This is Exposure Cinema release. And again, I went after it because of the cover art. I just did not like the domestic release. I think Blue Underground released it, and I was not a big fan of the cover art. And I'm still in search of what I'm commonly used to when I was a kid in the 80s, of that particular artwork. And but you know what? But this is a double disc release. It has some extras that you cannot find on the domestic release, and that's always fun too. So yeah, so you know, just some based on cover art, region free. I mean, you know, whether you're getting them right off the UK site or you're tapping into Germany, Amazon Germany. There's some good stuff, and if you just like collecting and you like to just look at what you have, I mean, you know, come on, there's some good stuff here. So the first 5, just based purely, mostly on, I would say mostly on cover art, things that I went after looking for to fit into the collection. And yeah, so a little bit about region free. Now, I'm still considering myself a novice at this. There are people out there, I know there are collectors out there that have their collection. I mean, there's huge. They spend a lot of money in that. Some of these, I'll just end here. Some of these distribution companies like 88, Arrow, man, their sales that they have, you just can't find those sales here. And I mean, they'll drop their titles down to like, you know, $7.99, you know, pounds, about almost £8 a title. And that's when I'll splurge, and that's when I'll spend more money than I generally spend. Because you're getting 10 or 12 titles for the amount of money that you could just never get here in America if you even found these titles and all of these titles. But I do want to carry this conversation forward a little bit more in terms of why specific releases. Through that conversation, I'll continue, I hope, to convey why being region free is important, at least to me, and I know to many others. And there's a lot out there that have no clue what they're missing out on, and probably wish they were region free had they known. So anyways, this is Rob from Georgia, VHS 82 apostrophe. This is just part 1 of a 3-parter. And the next one I'll do will deal from 20 to 11 and show you another sort of cross-cut of things that I have. As always, we end these things with Go Bill.